Gilg Jew, Gilg J as Gilg Nerach.
Faoiseamh Shuashaltach agus a Claare Shaw, Claare Gael. Hello and welcome to this programme, Claare Gael. My name is Robert Cutting Carswell, or Robert de Carslach.
Have you ever had tell about Bobby Bob?
And in this programme I'll be bringing part of it to you in the English language as Nim Corlesh Puirt Jiju Sechilg, and I'll be bringing another part of it to you in the Manx Gaelic, Chinyanamera, the mother tongue of Ellen Vanning, the Isle of Man. As Barachtan Jurish, we started looking at a collection called More Poems of Man, written by Barbara Cowley and published, it appears, in 1965. From the title it looks as though there was an earlier Poems of Man, and as I found poems of Barbara Cowley's from 1963 in the Peel City Guardian, I'd say they likely made up that earlier collection, but more poetry from Barbara Cowley this time. Van Olw van Helsing greid de Geneschen as John Seward Tannachten Marish Jonathan Harker, ons taie Count Dracula ons Picadilly, Goudst en Charn Godalming as Quincey Morris, Gold de Straine Kistjegen Oer til Jachten a Count, as Tudson ons Walworth as Mile End. We're starting with a song about a little red rooster, not the hit for the Rolling Stones of many years ago, a song in fact credited to Willie Dixon, recorded first by Howling Wolf. But no, this is a song about a little red rooster from Brittany, Ar hogig, sung by KANERION PLEUIGNER. Tashu geestiach rish radio banning, stasiwn an asiwn, viskuller skelia maach by Dúlish, Ellen Vanning. The men's choir from the village of Plouigneur in Brittany, KANERION PLEUIGNER, and the song hOGIG, the Little Red Rooster. This is a poem of Barbara Cowley's, which, as the title tells us, was written on Peel headlands. We, in fact, heard her poem about the chimes of Peel last time, and that had a Christian message, mentioning her love of hearing the bells ringing for Easter Sunday, but most of all at the Christmas time. Well, this again has a Christmas message to it, a Christian message to it, a Christian message to it, although it almost gets a bit Calvinist at the end, to be honest. But anyway, this is Written on Peel Headlands by Barbara Cowley. Blind are they who cannot see godliness in every tree, purity in song of bird, gentleness in flock and herd. Strange is it that only man cruel can be in life's short span. All around him, joyous spring leaps to greet him, bird on wing woos him with bewitching wiles, man rejects sweet nature's smiles. Bluest sea and yellow gorse, in old age he'll no remorse long for mountain, glen, sun-kissed, for the chances he has missed. Man will fight and die in vain, cut down by the axe of pain. Well, that'll learn him anyway. Well, sure as Liorla Jonathan Harker. Ve possible dat jarw slickly ve ran an oluchon orin, dat jinnach a Count chit gus Picadilly sa lay, as de berg shen mor ve, fuddy na berg shen able de rare Karadeg an tre shen as kart hun shen. Eg a goed slew fuddy de berg able dun gaerter olju kujach. Na an flan shaw ren me lord de brioil, as bent an doos skull, son doort me, as bent an doos skull, son doort me de rawi form tannacht an as cawd mina. Va mi smullion de raw ma eigne jint erachoosh. Ach, ha jinnach mina geestjach rish me fleint. Doorty fuddy de berg kushenjach an lai, fodumwek, Mechionek, Odoms vee in doil. Master Paper an account fuddy de berg lee denjach, Odoms tiggle kunte giel gem ons Transylvania. As san acht mor vee, berg vee mer ulju a choene war a redden ein, de rare poor ergen kaginus account. Vee arm liege lesh. Son va kereel vina sight. A song in Gaelic na Halban. This is Fiona Mackenzie, Little Sister, Sister, a phiuthrag's a fiúr, a song from Lewis.
If phiuthrag's a fiúr, oh,
A phiuthrag's the fiúr. Fiona Mackenzie singing that song, which is, I think, actually a girl singing to her sister, well, from beyond the grave, so literally a haunting song. Dúirt mína de rawe yn treis gerenach a sons, de jinnach sin olju gavrach a cheile. Ma hon heen, dúirt chanel al a biem, ta ridden wei hool gezoddes de wei. As creer bibes tagert, Onsen genodig wei Puirt enjach de grijsne de geurjach. Imi me wonje, voor die G me we se giri shen kode me, gemai is mish me lummerken, as les peger beekje finish. Maar zo ren mi moeste, stilly mi maag, son zenem je ligt on chitchelirach, son tashin call tre, voor die de jig Count Picadilly na smoken en tashin smunjen Ha jig, door Bran Helsing, as kummel soes allow. A kren fair, vrijmi. Wel jeru dit ed, door as ons reegid vei munga. Raer, de rauw gin tromegge, as de bie na gadle der a handmach. Wel jeru dit bie arach, wat bij arach, wat fairer bijin arach, jeru de reer daglach shen. And Barbara Cowley's poem The Glaashen has a note at the end of the poem, and we'll look at the note first, and she writes, Legend of the Glaashen. A beautiful, dark, strange young man who comes from the sea, tries to lure maidens to go with him, then changes into a horse and drags them to their death under the waves. And then in brackets she concludes by saying that the Glaashen is recognisable by pointed horse-like ears. So let's go back to the beginning then and hear the opening of her poem, The Glaashen. Who is it knocks at my cottage door, drowning the crash of the sea, luring me there with relentless roar? Who is it knocks at my cottage door? Silently running, I'll wait no more. Someone is calling to me. Wondrous and handsome the stranger stands, dark as a Spaniard he smiles, begging for shelter, he rubs his hands. Wondrous and handsome the stranger stands. Come in, and quickly the hearth he spans, weaving doom spells with his wiles. Well, I recently played something from the first album by Welsh band Arlog, and then last time we heard a song which I said was from their second album. Well, it wasn't. It was from their third album, so I thought we'd go back and hear something from the second one, and that was Uires Megan and Mech Megan, Lady Megan and the woman Megan. Siod yw stasiwn yn asiwn, sian dy greu dy jarw radio fanning. As cartnes sé Claare na Gael visra clashen, meron peen, Robert Cutting Carswell, Robert a Carslach.
Did the ever hear tell of old Bobby Bob?
Ma visju golgus in a degger radio fanning as brewer Craman eragert. Ta caid yw clashen Claare na Gael vis schachten lug jiggle scalia machen chid hier shaw. As ta Claare na Gael gentnius more podcast visra gedden nasty in a degger radio fanning, na truden reich the podcast jou, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Audible, Spotify, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, na Alexa. Now the Glashen poem continues. Sit down and warm thee, I softly say. Gently he lies by the fire, covering him snugly with blanket gay. Sit down and warm thee, I softly say. Da will be home soon from market day. Maybe he'll hire thee maybe he'll work thee for hire. Now by the flickering fire he sleeps. Love-crazed, I sit by his side. Fondly I'm touching a curl that leaps. Now by the flickering fire he sleeps. Too late, I notice his ear point peeps. Glashen has come for his bride. Trembling, I think of the tale Da tells. Handsome young man at the door, stallion to human comes weaving his spells. Trembling, I think of the tale Da tells. Dragging a maiden amid the seashells. Death waits for me on the shore. Suddenly, footsteps tread outside the room. Da has returned from the fair, springing up swiftly with black-browed gloom. Suddenly footsteps sound outside the room. Galloping from me, he takes his own doom. Saved by the breadth of a hair. Ren mina streppa de cry de rail en edin Donalek. Ach, hug a pia na mainsherachuri. As huggy a lawen rosh en edinek, as vi a crow chouds vi sochel. Charawe fo van Helsing or cunyon a chiel chonich agiek. Charawish as a Puirt ex a hush, ach engelmach as a smullion egg as an ebinchenach egge. Tra henke day, never great egge. Ve go nere, Jane vir utsegge. As huggy eber gergege, o me wens wiener dorte, me wens wiener o wien de trai, de ren mish as ulju, as te huish armok oort, greu riddenach on jou gonjachtach. Chanel na shan velen bol weinachem, as a chan bol weinach toltjene. Ach, niu tjurudet na gin. Renne kromo de hingel jori chouds lore. Gawi a lauwegge, as chouds ve giernair trud na jerek, doertje de virgenach, gajinum jerud, son te maidau cor cunyonair. Now, from Ireland, we have the founder of the group Anam, who was here from Cruniach a few years ago. This is Brian O'Hara, singing his own song, Faoiseamh, Relief.
San Count Shaw, I Lord as an Irish. Tan spirit on him, Rachel and a grind. Scar on my heart, the hand, Madame the Fad again. Sound a taloin, you rare fall. Time a soon. Yogan will trachtar Níl sásah ná níl faoiseamh an le fáil Tá bhuachard an rach mis granta na haithe ban Chalt han na loine uair le fáil Time a súb ras Yogan Sláinte geall mo bhórnaí Tá dílis dom go deo A bheith mo hánta Fad a bheith méid beo Agus sein a méid na ceol Mas gar muintir fanló Time a súb ras Yogan native country and all the ones I love Must I call this city my home? Never did I think I'd feel so fearful and alone Across the waves will always be my home How I long to be with you once more Is an atá loine uair fáil Time a súb ras Yogan
Brian O'Hara, who was from an Irish-speaking household in Dublin, where his father was a journalist, and Brian now lives in Inverness in a Scottish Gaelic-speaking household. Hai mina As les shen, te chwys sa chunion jid vis millish, de vele orm Gael ulju jay kujach. Nish, signed you ulju gol the leer, dan gil erlu, a signed on ulju gi de vodmudj veilager. Squagelunje van gil de ulju, hugshin berwei gindel as de grenige gelia, a shemina van vers brioile skinnelgin. Treve kjon, jas soest van Helsing is doortij. Nish mechurchen der, tashin gol roin, gereel aglach ein. Wel na wappen an ein ulju, maar wein en nie shen, tre heucht heischen stjach ons liachten en noid, les weppen en nai saich skenach hammers corpoil. Renschen ulju shigerige. Esh smaishen, nish, maar wen servina. Tauus achterby, ledden soutje en shaw der en lai grenia, as roshen nimmert chit back. Maar was nimmert chit back. Ach rosh me wishin gol, lig dau fagen de wel wappen en ned nai saich persoonach. Now there's a row of 5 asterisks here before the Galatian concludes. And then we come to the final verse. Still must I wander on nearby shore, searching in vain for my love, playing with danger, my heart sad, sore. Still must I wander on nearby shore, Glaston, my darling, I'll see no more, gone to his dark sea cove. Well, in that poem about the Glaston, Barbara Cowley has drawn on the island's folklore. But as we heard with her poem written on her return to Peel from a holiday in London, she knows the modern world and included this poem at the back of the book, amongst 3 poems which she called other poems, because they weren't specifically about the island at all, and she called this one The Lost Ones. I see them leaping into an abyss, these poor lost children of our affluent age, with lacquered hair and painted, soulless eyes and empty hearts that money won't assuage. Since teenager was culled to fit their needs, to give them false importance, puffed up pride, I yearn to get beneath their hardened crust, to see and melt their loving souls inside. So much the blame is ours, the middle-aged, for wrongful values, leaving sin uncaged. Now, this is a song by one of the members of the Cornwall songwriters, Miranda Truscott, the youngest of them, in fact, with a song from the viewpoint of a bal maiden. A bal maiden is a woman doing surface work at the Bal, the Cornish mine.
I clash and I clang at the break of the day, destroying the silence in every way. But I peal like the bells when the sun's going down, and the sunset has given me a beautiful crown. I go round and round, the water will spin, trying to block out the clutter, and in the water is playing a tuneful sound, while I think and I know what is under the ground. I shake to and fro, the oar moves about, collecting tin, leaving waste out, the water running over me like a silk sheet, then the water and tin running beneath my feet. It's tin which is here to keep us alive, so turning and crashing the tin we do grind. But when work is over we go back to sleep, and wait for the dawn when the sun starts to peep.
Miranda Truscott. In fact, we heard her father, Tony Truscott, last time with one of his songs as a member of the Cornwall songwriters, and Miranda started songwriting when she was 13. And most of the collection, More Poems of Man, reflects the island and Manx themes, but we've heard broader themes in The Lost Ones, and last time heard Birthday Reflections. I think this collection was published in 1965 because there's a poem called Tribute, and underneath in brackets, On the Death of Winston Churchill, which was the 24th of January 1965. Well, in the light of recent history, the thoughts expressed in the poem are perhaps more poignant now than when they were written. I think this great old warrior chose to die just now, that in our grievous, bitter loss he could help Britain. By his passing make us dream of honour, selfless duty, hope of mankind, vision of a world of light, united by the common cause of love. This hero who bestrode the shrinking globe, whose foresight helped to free the shackled souls of darkest Europe, even now cries, Halt in time, and look in your inmost hearts before it's too late. Build up a world of joy, of beauty, peace for all to share. Tamisheen, Nyrus henku shis, en nullige chemered ljoris kormur geet tridden as the fisain oru, navod eschen chits jaganji. Nish, ligdau kodu heen. De weis, tamikor a weershoje all kasherik, ons eneman as a wakkers, vaskrech aglach, ren bunus riogen a kriegen ein klaasne. Gauws we choren all an beis wiener, we lost he. Laast de stjaagse neel, maar de berge wij meer de wijn wat bijn les jas. Va intjen me wacht wien nintje bonne nie, genie as rennen jerigen ek gedden PNJ. As rennen dijou, tusjemorie getroom, de rauw koreie doeges, raw chant, reclashen se skrijg aglach shen. Ach henkt na vogelen geganneld rische smuljen ek de tavi. Rauw maktullige skrijg square by woeles en tre henke fregert. As rennie sink Gael glunen lei, ons engage en ingelige. Lawrence playing her beautiful tune for Grandad, Car Son Shanner, and she was accompanied there on guitar by Father Al Lawrence.
The Nation Station, Manx Radio.
Stasiwn yn asiwn dy radio banning ys Claare na Gael and Claare Shaw as Mr. Chebble, Robert Cutting Carswell, Robert a Carslach.
Ever heard tell of our Bobby Bob?
As ish, Tarn, Foltelen, Herschen Edenek, Moren Lauren, Janesh, Tarn a Chloga, Rennie, Kenya Mac, Niaw Glen, Ta eer en ulju njartel Shana me eel hollit, Sein thou gimmerke, Kran, Sjode, Njere, Erme Wesh, der a lein en vreunis. Renna dulju fergach. Va mish a jou mi hien liori ons angeis de wie chreies vergoes koene. As hug me reichen me giet de mooi, as ren me kleme I de chan. Rish kius de winneden, van a kriechen trimsjach ein boeleregelie. Gaus ren de keurgen me giet de moon, tjen de woin de soeljenok, aandau, wat jair rai ons taastig. Eis jen de van Helsing, as doorte de trom chushag, getrom chushag na rauw njaartemmach genachten, de rauwe ons achtenjach, jint brioi le spirit, as vergrij ridden chau moei jason heen. Now, there are a number of other poems in this book by Barbara Cowley's son, David Marno, and her sister, Marjorie Robinson. And we'll just have a look before we move on to them. This is the last of Barbara Cowley's own poems, and it's called Thoughts at Twilight, and underneath in brackets, Peel Castle. I saw the purple curtain of the night reach down, enfold the shimmering, foam-flecked sea. The boat still chugged forth and faded from my sight, and stillness, fraught with memories, came to me. I thought of how we sat upon the rocks and hand in hand went crabbing in a pool. Then after chapel strolled in Sunday frocks and watched the sunset in the evening cool. It seems as if the sun shone brighter then, those simple, uncomplexing days of yore. This shrinking world that could be full of light still bears the scars and wounds of total war. Yet time is mellowing still these castle walls, and mended are the feuds of long ago. So let us heal this poor, sad, troubled world. With outstretched arms we'll cry, this must be so. Now, this is a song about a young woman who would like to marry, but very much against the advice of her parents, but in doing so, she runs the risk of being sent away to a convent to avoid losing her honour to a boy. But it's also a dance, in fact, because this is from the Puirt area of Brittany, and here we hear the accordion of Paul GUEGANIC and the voice of Marie ROBIC plah à Sant Karadeg.
Seward plah you want to bury Sant Karadeg, that can go as a legata, you robotches. And do it met from the deep and already mamisa, and Gary to Mandy Mines, you want to treat her. Well, he couldn't have a merry car of the boat train, not to one that was a clean up in the gashi. The water to a mam, not on him when me, and me feel like I know so the garang mazami. Rap me a minion two and two agarmoya. La Maria de voiture roda vinarga, la Maria de voiture roda vinarga, la magassi e me de vinetter huva, la magassi e me de vinetter huva, il auski e cetrimanda der botre jua, a cedre botre jua la nazo traitu, a galatti e me de golani, la retuida e mam petrarani huva, la me frisagna dantel tonja le nurgalla, la me frisagna dantel tonja le nurgalla, a scrivagna mara hier naar de bootrejoa, la barir wo van me meder zodat je landet, la me belly jonge wijn met de wasserije, la danoni vela kein or gambi jagatjo, en aan een sortietje, la den dina tenno, la der di chalala, ramer virjoni, rigara merke je wijn de fado a je, rigara merke je wijn je ke bo punise, la rani trabam di me kuja la germis.
And there we heard the accordion of Paul GUEGANIC and the voice of Marie ROBIC, recorded in 1965 in Morbihan in Brittany, and that's the area where we have a word K-E-T, which most areas of Brittany would say ket, but in that area they say chet. It becomes a ch sound before certain letters, the letter K. Now, before moving on to Barbara Cowley's other poetry that are found in copies of the Peel City Guardian, we'll look at other pieces in this collection, and this is a poem by her son David Marno. In fact, I tried to find a David Marno. The only one I could find was an academic in the University of California. I'm not convinced that was the same person. But this poem by David Marno takes us to Crofter's House, Cregnish. The house commends itself by being a mere croft, with well-kempt thatch secure from gaming winds, which might strip the roof tree to its beams. Within, 2 narrow rooms and 1 half loft, for storage against the autumn harvest's plenty, and winter's distaff active evenings. In feasible disorder lie the lobster pots, the plaited, handmade basket which adorns the wall, a creel for gathering fibrous peat that dims the open hearth with smoke and warmth. The half-loft is webbed with hempen yarn and nets, and shadows that receive into a past inviolate. And much to be envied for security, think how in that shadow-nimble place children must have lain, lulled by the fire's warm charity and fireside monotones. Fuddy the beer ort gimmerka kran shen dervis G heen smunyan den e kuie, Marneus and Shigaris, Lion Vrunus, the Royal Coulinas on a gerul you a chrunias na pechenega, te a chor ersen. As o me wen servina, me veen, the rau shingen us the grai ein ort and shen the hagen, tre nien cron jerg shen, courage e fis ye, ernater veon, jai sul, as vergeil de weschel, glen as a cree er te fisain. Son chysige is de Welshin bio, ni een cronshen, leierssoel, tret a G fagen de welle kart, de chrogel en ere de cry orin. Der shen, tashin gimmerke chroshine, morenne wak ons spieles den eigne egge. Fuddy de beer de Welshingen jeschachten right de tatjes my egge. As de Welshin golsoes den eigne my egge, gurishen elje shen, trud boeligen as njere. Trud jer as fool, trud doet as aal, as ulju vis ginusus a verna, eder G as dunja. Now here's Scottish band MANRAN with vocals of Kim Carney. Some Puirt sung by Kim Carney with the band MANRAN there, and that was from the album Urar, and they were just that track was called Puirt Urar. Vertreis ons na foglanegge as gurjach, as jint son mined fo hurrans. Janie mina as mishnis maso, as a tre chedin Gauw daagtjen fairjay lawen na jaan dunje, as chroomsjen herish as rensjen peggy. Esh gin vogel rensjen olju gliuna shis kujach, as lesh graham lawen na gelia rensjen lood of firnjach, and derry ye gus a jaelia. Now, David Marno's poem has had the children lulled by the fireside, or, he says, watched vast whales go butting through their dreams, and airwoods blow their spume in fluted columns, while schooners mustered in a landlocked bay. Say, love, when will we build a durable house like this rock-founded, faith-formidable one, where deploy our meagre chattels and set up home? As Shenerish, Shaw, Jera and Claare Cartnish. Between 7 and 9 o'clock you can enjoy the best of chill-out music in the company of Chris Pearson, and then from 9 o'clock through to 1 o'clock tomorrow morning, Judith Leigh is your host for Sundown. We close Claare Gael with music by great Welsh harp player Robin Hugh Bowen, and here he's celebrating the Gogs, the northerners of the old MIRANDA in the northwest of Wales. Well, it's a busy week with the Guild starting and next Saturday, and Manx Wildlife Week starting next Saturday, so there'll be lots to do from next Saturday onwards. Ach, leis kiaull seo tá mi cór ceann Claare chi'r seo. And so until the next time then, this is Robert Gutting Carswell, Robert the Carslach.
Old Bobby Bob.
Wishing you a very good night. Eve, I'm a chrieri will you, as orselier, as me yeary and shared you.